Okay. Action.
Hi, I'm Mr. Lee. Let me show you my classroom. Classroom 715. I'd say, first of all, if you look at the ceiling, I put the flags as a map. The map is above our heads. The flags are geographically located. For example, you have North America, South America. You're going to have Europe right here. You're going to have Africa right there. And of course, the continent of my ancestry, Asia, right here. I teach world history, U.S. history, and U.S. government, so that's very helpful for world history. So if you come over here, you can see that I've also put the flags of the United States in alphabetical order, starting with Alabama, going to Kentucky, continuing with Louisiana, going to Missouri, continuing with Montana, all the way to Utah, and then we continue with the state flags, Vermont all the way to Wyoming. So those are the flags, at least for American history. Super important to have the history flags, flags of the United States. And then right here, people see these boxes and they're like, why do you have all these movies and what's it for? So they're actually a timeline of movies in chronological order from the beginning of time and beginning of history. Then we go to the beginning of the United States, 1776. And then we go to the 1900s. And then we come over here. You have a lot of people, you can divide up history into wars. So you have World War I, 1920s, the Great Depression, World War II, all the way to the 1950s. Those are my timeline of the movies. Let me introduce, I think, my row numbers. So these are row numbers, but which I actually use for my seating chart. So row 1, row 2, but you can also use these numbers for answers. For example, if you want the answer as 1776, you simply just go to the last digit. Or if it's the Pearl Harbor attack, you can go to the 7 of December 7th, 1941. Or if you're talking amendments, everyone knows about the Second Amendment, which guarantees the right to bear arms. So I use these numbers constantly. Also, what I use this whole thing is a political spectrum. So if you think of right-wing conservatives, you have the Republican Party right here, of course Fox News Channel, and then as far as a conservative belief, Stop Abortion Now. And then on political spectrum, you can come over here to the liberal left, which you think of the Democratic Party, and it's going to be the opposite. You have Keep Abortion Legal. I have like my little area, so the gay pride flag. Of course, the LGBTQ community, that would definitely be on the liberal side. I think one of my proudest accomplishments is the creation of what I just call a square. It simply seats in a square. And this is where I force students in, usually on the 1-hour blocks. Those who have the lowest amount of points, they sit here and I'll show them what to get or tell them what to get, and I force them to get points so that they can get extra credit and increase their grade. If you look at these TVs right here, so the center TV, this is a really long portable, and so you have this TV, but there's a lot of glare, and so people on the outside really, they can't see very well, so I just created duplicate TVs, one here, and of course, one that's over here. And then I have over here, I have, if they go to several answers at the same time, I have tiebreaker questions, which I use this screen for, which they control over here with this wonderful remote, which changes the question and gives me the answer right here. So speaking about extra credit positions, there are 4 extra credit positions. And the reason why I have extra credit positions is to motivate them to come to my classroom as fast as they can. So one of the positions is the lights. The way I have them use the lights, whenever the video clip is playing, they just simply turn the lights off. Whenever the video clip pauses, they turn the lights on. And they sit right here because they won't allow me to put somebody right in front of the fire extinguisher. So this is the extra credit position 3 that controls the lights. And then I have over here, this is extra credit position 4, which is the sound effects. And they get 2 points also. But then back here, you have these 2 extra credit positions where they're writing down all the extra credit. Students will check in and tell them their name and whatever extra credit they got. They're running the station. If someone gets 5 points, they're put on a blacklist. What they'll do is they'll ring the bell twice. I will say on my microphone, Mr. Lee, may I help you? And they'll get on their microphone and they'll say,
Glenn Jimenez is on the blacklist.
and then I'll tell them, cowbell please, and write down a wire for confirmation advisor on the blacklist. So they get 2 points. A lot of people like these positions because they're multitasking and they're doing a lot. They're writing down the extra credit. They're operating the screens for the tiebreaker questions. But it's a nice little station. They have their own, of course, their little microphone and their bells and all that. So that's that right there. And you have these wonderful mounted TVs so that students can easily be able to see whatever their extra credit is. So let's talk about a little more of the classroom. And if you come over here, on this east wall, I have the 3 branches of government. So our legislative branch, you think of the United States Congress, which creates legislation and bills, which you're going to have the President of the United States. He's going to sign bills into law. He has the chance to veto a bill. So legislative branch, executive branch, and then you have the judicial branch. Usually think of SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, which is going to declare any laws that are passed either constitutional or unconstitutional. So if we go back to the executive branch, on the top of the back wall, you're going to have 15 executive departments. I put them in alphabetical order, so Department of Agriculture. I think the most famous ones are Department of Defense, aka Department of War, probably Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Homeland Security. Again, we think of ICE, so ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And then we come over here, you think of FBI under the Department of Justice, the most famous ones, all the way down to the Department of Veterans Affairs. And so below these executive departments, you're going to have their relevant agencies. For example, the Department of Justice, you're going to have the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, ATF, and the DEA, all these relevant agencies. Also, things on the wall are sometimes in relationship to the flags. For example, if you're looking for civil rights organizations for Latinos, you'll find Latin America, go back here, and you'll find LULAC in Maldives. If you're looking for Asian organizations, you can find China, and you're going to find CACA, which is Chinese American Citizens Alliance. Or if you go to Japan, right back here, you're going to find the JACL, which is Japanese American Citizens League. The other civil rights organizations, for example, for Jews, Jewish Americans, so you find the Flag of Israel, and you'll find the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. Or in my Africa section, you have the NAACP and the NAN. And in general, not race specific, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union. And then I have lots of different emojis for different things. For example, if it's rumors, lying, propaganda, they can come to this emoji and they'll say lying or rumors or propaganda, lying emoji. Or they can use this one right here for lies, bullshit, poo-poo emoji. So lots of different emojis, just meaning so many different things, whether it's the Cold War. Where did he go? Here's the hot war, represented by the fire. You can have the Cold War right here. Lots of different emojis meaning different things. So that's what we have. We have all the flags, lots of emojis. We have the extra credit positions, all the screens, the extra credit positions. And of course you have this whole command center, which has the screen of what they're gonna see. And I'm trying to control different things. Sometimes it's watching what they're doing, or sometimes it's watching the extra credit that's being written right there. For these 4 laptops, they're all with DVD players. So they are playing, actually it's just 3 that are playing DVDs. So I'm kind of like a video disc jockey. And that's probably, oh, we have these, they take their quizzes on these wonderful quizzers, which are old but and obsolete, but I love them because they're offline. And then this is illegal. They don't want us to have it, but I have a refrigerator stocked with wonderful drinks and sometimes breakfast food and dinners and a wonderful microwave and of course a lot of drinks. Thanks for letting me show you my classroom. It's so cool.